Hey everyone, this is Eric Silvermoon. This is day 26 of my 30 Days of Magic Challenge, where I talk to you about my spiritual path, any spell work that I'm doing, all that magical stuff. So today I wanted to talk to you about what it is to be a gay male witch. And also I wanted to share with you my dedication letter, which has turned out to be more of a mission statement. But before I talk, I wanted to thank Anais. I can't even pronounce her name, I'm so sorry. Anais, I think that's how you pronounce it. I did a reading for her yesterday. And, you know, she was talking about the queer identifying myself as a witch. And so, you know, that kind of just sparked today's conversation. And I thanked her on the testimonial email she gave me. And, you know, I thought it would be a great topic because, you know, of course, being myself, being a gay witch, you know, I always wanted to Google and find all this information, you know, if there's anything in particular or anything specific that I should know, I guess, about my my being in this form, and as well as if there's any, you know, advantages or, you know, anything I need to know. And in finding, you know, my research, you know, there's great books, you know, by Christopher Penczak. You know, there's so many different you know, gay witches out there, like Orion. You know, there's so many people, and so I really did have a hard time finding someone that I really resonated with. You know, I love Christopher Penczak. I love his work. But when it came to, for me at least, for that kind of like that gay energy, you know, I just wasn't feeling it. You know, and I wasn't really sure exactly what I was looking for. So the first thing that I kind of struggled was with what to call myself, I guess, what to call my practice. You know, I'm not Wiccan. I referred to myself for many years as a spiritual, eclectic spiritualist because you know, I like so many different things and I like trying so many different things. So I didn't call myself Wiccan or a witch or anything. It was just a eclectic spiritualist. But, you know, through shadow work and really working with what I do, you know, I really decided, you know, I feel very comfortable with the power word witch and what that represents to me. And so I claimed it and I owned it. You know, there's so many, for any men that are looking for just not even gay, but just male witch on the internet or on YouTube, you find very little information, very little videos of people talking about it. Normally, you'll just find people saying that, yes, they are male witches, and no, they not all go by warlocks or druids or wizards or stuff like that. And so, you know, that's pretty much it when it comes to that information. So, you know, this video is not intended to be informative in that sense, you know, about being a gay witch. It's just my life and the way that it kind of just happened in my personal experiences. You know, prior to me owning my spiritual path, you know, I did struggle a lot, which I mentioned in past videos. You know, I was overweight as a kid, and you know, I felt very depressed, and I actually did something about it, and you know, I lost a lot of weight. Some of it wasn't very healthy. You know, I got some kind of eating disorders, and I lost the weight very quickly, which kind of hit twofold because I was also, you know, not being very healthy, and I was being, now that I was all skinny and considered to be pretty or handsome, whatever you want to call it, I was getting a lot of attention from men, older men in particular, and I was like 16, 15, 16. So at that time, you know, I really kind of threw myself at anybody that gave me some sort of attention because I felt so ugly for such a long period of my life that anybody, regardless of what they look like, or, you know, if they gave me some kind of attention, I would want to go home with them or whatever. So it caused this terrible spiral of me searching for safety and love in all the wrong places. Typical lifetimes movie. But I struggled with my identity for such a long time, and there was a point where I was dating 33, 37, close to 40-year-old men, and I was 16, 17. And at the time I was having a really good time. Uh, but with doing shadow work and stuff as I got older, I'm 29 now. I'll be 30 this year. So when I was 27, which is not too long ago, I really had to deal with the whole, promiscuity, and having to deal with being molested, even though that it was consensual. I wanted to sleep with these men, but in the same sense, I was taken advantage of. So I had to deal with that and figure out why I wanted for that to happen to me. What was the lesson learned? And I had a really hard time with trusting men, in particular, gay men specifically. Whenever I would go to gay clubs or anything like that, I would put such a defense mode, because I didn't want people to approach me. I just wanted to have fun with my friends. But of course, men would come and try to get my attention, and I was just, I'm not feeling it. I was really negative in that aspect. And when I became, spiritual in a sense, and I was working on my craft, I long, and I still kind of long for that connection to the male energy, because I know that there's a lot of healing there that needs to take place. But every time I would join a male witch group, or it's mostly gay men witch groups that I would join, it was always a negative experience. And I really put my intention of really just allowing myself to interact and communicate, and have the highest intentions that I don't want anything negative to happen. But every time I would join these sites or these groups, it would always turn into this like horny male energy. And I know that's usually what it is, but that's not what I was looking for. And I'm not discrediting those groups, but for me, I needed something very specific. And so that's why they didn't work out, because I was looking for that specific thing that I needed. And what I needed was a community of men that just shared their magic and shared their daily life and their experiences. And weren't allowed to weren't nervous or weren't fearful, or just being emotion and connecting with somebody else on an emotional level. I didn't want to be in a group that just posted a bunch of naked men and talk dirty to each other. If I wanted something like that, then I would go to a porn site. So some men, you have to be a little specific on what it is that you wanted. And so the community that I wanted was more of that male energy that I could relate to, and just to be honest and real and share my experiences with another male witch in that sense. And so I still struggle with that. I still struggle with finding the community. I don't, I'm usually the worst. What did someone call me? They said that I'm not a very good representation of the gay community, because I don't like all gay things. I don't like to go to clubs. I don't like to go to gay meetings or stuff like that. I'm not a big advocate, because I've been kind of hurt so much by the gay community, and I don't mean it and to I don't know, I guess to bash or anything like that. It's just my personal experience were negative, and that's just how I feel. And so I know that there's a lot of healing to do. And so for me, it's important for me to sit with it and to really communicate more with gay witches. And I haven't found those yet that I resonate with. They're very, very rare. Is probably why I tend to gravitate more to women, because it is more of an emotional connection. It is a deep wanting of a community, like a coven. It's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood in that sense as well. And I get what I need from my goddess sisters, and it's always very loving. It's never judging. I don't feel like I'm being, what's the way, I feel like I'm not, what's the word I want to think? It's almost like I feel like I'm not in front of a stage kind of performing or being evaluated or judged or, you know, looked at for my sexuality, rather than, you know, I feel like I'm just being honored for being a spiritual being and being heard. And so that's why, you know, I really love the goddess energy, and I really love to connect with women in that sense. You know, and I want that same thing with men. And so that's where I'm at this point in my journey. I wrote a couple bullet points that I wanted to talk about today. You know, for me, being a male witch, it really is no difference than, you know, a woman wanting to be a witch. You know, yes, like I said, there's not great information for a male witch. I mean, if you look at all the art's mostly women, unless you want to look at pictures of like wizards and Harry Potter kind of thing, then you'll find male depicted kind of art. But when it comes to information, it's the same thing. I mean, there's no gender of who could do a spell, and, you know, you have to be a male to do this kind of spell, or you have to be a woman to do this kind of spell or this kind of work. It's the same thing. So lifestyle wise, you know, as a witch, it's very similar to you guys. It's very similar to the women, to the men being straight or whatever. You know, I still honor the elements. I still honor the earth. The advantages, I would say, let me grab some water. The advantages, I would say, of for myself, being a gay witch or a gay male in this life is that I feel that I'm a really good balance of divine feminine and divine masculine. You know, I'm very sensitive in a lot of ways. I'm very gentle in a lot of ways. I'm very compassionate, and I understand a lot of people. It's probably one of the reasons why I get along with a lot of people, is because I don't really see a person as a sexual being, as a female or male. I just see it as a spiritual being. And it's the whole namaste thing, you know, my soul recognizes your soul, your spirit as a divine being. And so that's how it is, and that's why I get along with so many people. You know, one of the things that always gets me, that I always get really emotional, is when someone, a gay man, will come up to me and said, you know, I was very intimidated by coming up to you. And I'll be like, why? And they'll be like, well, you know, you're so, they'll say, you're so pretty, you know, I didn't want, you know, for you to, you know, push me away or something like that, or ignore me. And I was like, you know, if I did that, you know, shame on me. And if I was doing something like that, you don't need to be around my energy. And, you know, I always say, you know, I really appreciate your honesty, and we'll always have a good hug out and then a good conversation. And sometimes, you know, then it ends really ugly when they want to flirt with me and then they go somewhere else, but not all the time. But when it comes to me being, like I said, being a gay man and a witch, that advantage is just there, that I'm a very good balance of both of those, the divine masculine, divine feminine. And the reason why I work more with the goddess energy is because I feel like the divine masculine is a little bit stronger in myself. And when I say that is, you know, what that means to me. Because masculinity means different for a lot of people. Some people feel that it's more of a physical strength. Some people see it more as, you know, like, you know, ripped abs, or, you know, whatever it might mean to you. For me, you know, masculinity means, for me, is just being who I am, being a man in this life. You know, I don't know what it is. And so I just feel like that connection that I already have, and I already chose to be a male in this life. And so it's important for me to connect to the female aspect of this life. And so I work more with the goddesses. I do have some gods that I work with, not so much, just because too much male energy really gives me anxiety. Makes me feel, what's the word I want to use? I don't know. It kind of, I don't know. It makes me feel a certain way, which I got to sit and just more try to work on that. But I tend not to do very well when there's a lot of males in the room. I have to have a good balance of female and male energies when I'm in a room, which is really weird. And I know. It's something you want to sit with and and journal about and figure out what that is. And so I will definitely do that. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was what I'm looking for right now in terms of my practice and where I kind of see myself being in this for this year and in the near future. You know, I want more, you know, the gay community or more gay witches, and I don't only mean men, but I want women and any, you know, LGBT, well, I can't even say it, but the gay community really I want to see more of them in the spiritual aspect. I don't tend to see a lot of that, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. There's certain people that I've connected with that, you know, some women that they are considered lesbians. They consider themselves to be lesbian, and for them, they struggle with having too much. Well, some struggle with having too much of that male energy, and they want to hone in more on that feminine energy, which I find so interesting. And so it's that perfect balance of just understanding and sharing stories. And that's what I'm looking for right now, is I want to be able to share my story and hear someone else's story and really, you know, see if there's something that we can learn from each other, that community. You know, the coven work and meetings always resonated with me, but, you know, I'm such a free spirit. I tend to, you know, go on my own beat when it comes to my magic. Like I said, I'm not really good at structure. And so, you know, what my understanding of coven is that they all kind of go together. They all flow together. They all do the same kind of magical workings. And to me, I don't know, I don't want to be the only one, you know, like running around and jumping and doing all kinds of stuff, breaking stuff. And so right now, I enjoy being by myself, and I enjoy the people that I have online. You know, here in Merced, there's no community. There's no other witch that I know of in this area. So if I wanted to be with you know, like-minded individuals, I have to drive like around 45 minutes to an hour just for the local hangout meetup area. And then my actual group of people that I love connecting with in Bakersfield is 3 hours away. So I tend not to be able to make that drive on Sundays for like an hour, because then it's a total of 7 hours just for an hour meetup and drive back. So, you know, during this process of wanting to talk and see with the energy today, I really wanted to do a dedication letter. And what it ended up turning out is more of a mission statement. You know, a mission statement is almost like an ethical, almost like if you think about the commandments, things that you stand by, like the witch's creed or whatever you want to call it. It's just something that it's a guideline for you to stay on the right path. And so I've written one, and I'm going to read it for you guys. I just wrote it in a pen. What I want to do is I want to type it, and I want to print it out in some kind of nice stationery, hang one or put it next to my office so that I can see it every day and read it, so that I make sure that I'm always in alignment with that mission statement, that dedication letter, and then have one at work. We have a mission statement at my work that is specifically for, you know, my work, my day job, but for in a magical sense, this is what I wrote. And so before I start my talking again, I'm gonna drink some more water. Okay, so I said, I am a powerful witch. I am one with my spiritual tribe. I am a warrior of divine light. I hold myself to the highest of honors, for in honoring myself, I honor my tribe. I am a beacon of positive light. Through my life's journey, I shall teach and guide to those that the goddess sends my way. I do not involve myself nor tolerate any kinds of toxic behaviors that will block me from my mission of spreading positive divine light. When I hear the call to be of service, I will show up. This is my dedication. I am Silvermoon. So it's very short. It's just, for me, it resonates with me a lot. And as time comes, I'll change it around, add something new. But it was important for me to just sit there and, you know, write down what I want from this life. Who do I want to be? What's my legacy in a sense? You know, um, I don't want to be just like a label and that's it, because I'm more than the word witch. I'm more than just, you know, the gay male or man or whatever. Um, you know, it's almost like what I do, just it's too much of what I do and how I want to live my life to confine to a title. You know, free spirit just seems to resonate with me a lot. So, you know, I definitely recommend doing your own mission statement, your dedication letter to, you know, how you want to present yourself and how do you want to honor yourself. And you know, having something like this will really help me stick to being a good person, being a compassionate person, a good teacher. You know, I never teach something that I don't have any knowledge of. You know, I think the best teachers are the ones that, you know, dealt with some serious shit, or, you know, they know what they're talking about. And, you know, for me, you know, I did have a lot of, you know, hard times when I was younger, but I don't regret them. If I had to do it again, I will pick exactly the same thing because it allowed me to be the person that I am now. Same with the people that, you know, I met in high school. You know, I was bullied terribly, pushed, you know, beaten up, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, to them, I send them lots of love and light, and I really hope that they're happy now, and I hope that they're not teaching what they've done, you know, pass it down to their family, to their own kids. And I really hope that that cycle ended in high school. So, you know, I always keep them in my prayers. But for me, you know, most people won't agree with it, but I have to stop and thank them for that tough lessons, those tough moments, because it allowed me to be the gentle person that I am now. It allowed me to be very kind, because I knew that I would never want to be a bully to somebody else, and I don't resonate with that. And, you know, being, I guess when I first came out, I really thought that that's what it meant to be gay, was to be, you know, very sassy, very, you know, snappy, queeny, and bitchy, you know, ready to judge someone and make fun of them. And, you know, that didn't last very long because I knew it felt wrong. And it's probably why I don't resonate too much with the gay men that I met in the past, is because it's always been so negative. You know, the same thing when it goes to when women say, you know, why are you being so mean to each other? The same thing goes for gay men. Why are you being so mean to each other? You know, we shouldn't judge each other. We shouldn't, you know, do all this stuff. And that's just me. So I tried my hardest not to do that, and that's all I could do, is just to make sure that I am being the best version of myself 24/7. You know, it's okay to have weak moments, but like I say in other videos, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you find yourself in the darkness. What matters is how quickly you come back into the light. And that is my motto. And so I know not to beat myself up. Uh, and yeah, so I mean, that's what I want to talk to you guys today. And, you know, if you guys write your mission statements or your dedication letters and you feel like sharing it with me, I would definitely love that. I might even steal a couple lines off yours. You know, and if there is other gay men or even gay women that want to connect, please hit me up. I mean, I'm not necessarily desperate, but I almost feel like that strong connection, or the strong want to connect to a community, which is one of the many reasons why I did my tribal deck, my tribal magic oracle deck, all men, because I really needed that connection to that male energy. And right now I feel like it's a lot stronger this year than it has been in many other years. And I feel like it is going to be, you know, 2015 is going to be a huge healing year for myself and for many of us. And so, you know, I'm very open. And so I'm very open to any groups. You know, I don't mind trying them again. You know, since I do have such a resistance to that, you know, horny gay male kind of aspect, and, you know, seeing some, you know, pornographic images. I mean, I don't go, I'm not a prude or anything, but I do need to sit with that energy of why I don't resonate with that. I think I need to be more confident in my answer, so that I know that it really is just because it's not of either of interest, or it's just not in the direction that I want to go in, or maybe I do have some fears or some triggers that cause me to really not, wanting to leave a group or leave a situation because it gets uncomfortable. So. And that all goes into being comfortable with who I am and in my body. And, it's years of trauma. It's years of self-sabotage and self-abuse, especially with my eating disorders and the way I viewed my body when I was younger. So, I mean, it all ties down to that. And, hopefully with this journey and writing my dedication, my mission statement, and really working on being all that I can be, I think I will do really good in this life, or at least in this year. So I have very high hopes for myself. But yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today in day 26, because, it's not always all about crafting and making spells. It really is journeying within and seeking out these things that, either bother you or scare you or fearful. It's, being a witch is being an alchemist. You're really testing things out. You're testing theories. You're questioning a lot of stuff. You're questioning your life. You're questioning other people's judgments or their ethics, and because you want to figure things out, because you want to know how they work. And sometimes you are okay with not knowing how it works because it just works, So that's the reason why I wanted to share this today, because I just felt like talking about it. It was a good topic. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. Again, if you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up, share them with friends. Starting in May, which I will talk about later, I won't be doing everyday videos. I think I dedicated every Saturday to doing a new video. And so this 30-day challenge really pushed me to really get out of my comfort zone and push through those fears and share my thoughts with you guys. So that's it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Blessed be.